Hey guys, how's it going? In case you didn't know, I am Alice, and today I am joined with James Fagan, who is a co-owner of Coffee and Kicks. Would you say that?
Yeah, co-founder, yeah.
And do you want to just explain what it is that you do, what Coffee and Kicks is?
So Coffee and Kicks is basically a place for, I suppose, people that are into fashion and sneakers and all that type of stuff to hang out in a coffee shop in town.
I think when I was talking to you before, you kind of described it as you wanted to get people offline and actually meeting face to face. Why do you think that's important for streetwear people to actually get off Instagram and come and meet?
I think even where Ireland is such a small place, so if all those can meet up and let's say organise photo shoots or whatever, then like that just puts Ireland on the map a little bit more. So I suppose, yeah, having Coffee and Kicks is a good way of meeting up and talking to the people that you've been talking to online for the last couple of weeks or last couple of months or whatever. So
how did this come about? How did you start the company?
So I met up with the other guy that we do with, Phil, and we were talking about wanting to make an event similar to what London had, like Crep City, do something along those lines. And with that, Coffee and Kicks came about because we needed somewhere that was cheap enough, big enough to fit a lot of people. So it was a coffee shop that we went for because like Phil could get the place pretty cheap. So then we called it Coffee and Kicks and just went from there.
What got you into shoes?
My uncle always had loads of shoes. 270s, like, I had loads of those. Really liked the shoes, and it was just like, then it was just a competition with him, really. Wanted to have more than him.
And do you at this stage?
Yeah,
you do.
more than him, yeah.
And what I find interesting is that you're 16, you're in school, but you still do this like kind of as your main thing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of young people these days will have ideas for, I don't know, businesses and things like that, but they won't actually follow through with it. Like, what convinced you to follow through with actually doing it?
It was simple enough, really. Like, I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew people that were doing it already. So I had Morgan from Crep City. I was good friends with him at the time, still am, and he was just telling me what to do. And with that, we set up the social media. It's like nearly at 2,000 now, and it was like, you know, you post in the morning before you go to school, post in the lunchtime, and then post at the 6 o'clock in the evening or whatever. So it's easy enough done, but then it's running the events. There's a couple of hours involved in those at any given time. So yeah, it's easy enough. Like, it's just if you have enough passion for something, you'll do it. Like, you know. How
do you balance school and running Coffee and Kicks?
Honestly, I sounded pretty perfect there saying I go and do it before I go to school. I don't do that at all. I just don't go to school. I could do more.
Don't know what's going on in there.
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever really care much about school as I do about Coffee and Kicks or my business or my brand or whatever. So yeah, I'm more focused on that for the time being.
I think that's fair though. Some people think that, oh, you have to be in school, you have to be doing this and that. But if you have something running that's going well, like on the outside, like what's wrong with that?
It's like, you know, if I was in school now and I didn't have Coffee and Kicks and I was this far behind in studying and like exams and stuff, I'd be shitting it. But like, it's all right now. Like, I have this, it's starting to pick up. We're getting work with Brown Thomas, Puma, and Lifestyle.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what kind of opportunities have you gotten from it so far, but obviously.
Yeah, so we flew to London a couple of weeks ago, and we went to Puma's headquarters. We had a meeting with them for like nearly an hour. You know, we sat in the room where all the unreleased shoes were coming out. We weren't allowed to take photos or anything, which is pretty weird. I understand it, like.
Yeah.
But that was mad to be recognised by a brand that has 6.5 million followers.
Yeah. And
by Brown Thomas that has 105,000. You know?
Yeah. No, I think that's amazing, and the experience you get from that is something that you won't get in school and stuff like that. But
I may not have a great leaving cert, but I have Puma on my CV. So.
So yeah, which one's gonna get you further? What do your friends think about it in school and stuff? What do they think?
They just think it's like it's pretty weird, really. Like they're like, oh, you should be studying and that, but then they realise when they actually come to the events and there's like 200 people there or whatever, and they're like, all right, I understand it now. And then they notice how quickly the social media is growing. I mean, it's doubled just this year alone. So they see where it's going and what I want to do, and what I want to do is not school. What I want to do is Coffee and Kicks. So
your friends are kind of coming around to it and being like,
yeah, but I think I don't know, like, there's no really way of saying this without sounding like cocky or whatever, but it's like, I'd say they're a little bit jealous because like they're studying at home, like, and I'm doing fuck all, like, I'm just rolling into school, like, maybe twice a week, like, so.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say jealousy, but you get what I'm trying to say
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Like.
What do your teachers think about it, or do they know, or do they just think you're slacking
It's funny
off?
actually, right? We were in English, right? We were doing YouTube. My English teacher hates me, and I don't really know why. And
Hopefully she's not. She is not watching this.
No, I hope she is. Yeah. And we were there anyway, and we were watching YouTube videos. And I done a campaign with Lifestyle. I was on one of the videos, and
That popped up in
on
my
the ad.
email one day.
Yeah, I popped up on the ad, and I just was like, "Miss, just watch it there." And then she was like, "All right, see what you're doing now."
Do you usually get respect from kind of older people, like when you're coming to work with them and stuff, because you are only 16? Like, have you been respected?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And, you know, 16 for me is not the biggest thing. Like, I'm actually in the care system, like, so it's even funny when like social workers hear what I'm doing or anything like that. They're just like, "What the fuck's this fella doing?" Like, but I think I would probably try and say that I'd probably try and focus on the care system rather than the age, really, because I've been hanging around with people that is older than me most of my life, so I'd say I'm a little bit.
Has that forced you to kind of mature?
Yeah,
more?
I grew up like, I think it was like growing up at like 15, 14, you just have to be like, so I think that's why I started the business, because I was just pretty confident in what I knew I could do, whereas most people that age probably don't. I mean, sound extremely cocky.
No, having spoken to you and stuff, like, I've definitely noticed that you're really mature. Like, you don't strike me as a 16-year-old or anything like that, but
sometimes I do. Like, you'll see that.
Even when I was at the Sean Witherspoon Air Max drop, you were in there getting pictures before anyone else was getting a look. Like, how does that feel to be at the front of the queue, being able to get in there?
It still felt pretty shit because I didn't get the shoes. Honest,
fair.
It was all right. I mean, I got to see the shoes. I seen the shoes actually. I took them out for size, and like maybe 3 days before they came out, and I shot them. And like it wasn't my size, but I was very tempted to rock them.
Yeah.
But then I was like, nah, reputation.
Yeah, keep that rep. And did you teach yourself photography, or how did you get into photography?
I don't actually know. I think it was from just looking at Instagram. I wouldn't say I'm into photography as much as I'm into just shooting shoes.
Yeah.
But I suppose I was looking at Instagram, and then I was just looking at YouTube videos, and then I bought my first camera, which was a Canon 80D. I went to SneakerCon. That was terrible, by the way. And went to SneakerCon, was in a taxi on the way from the airport, and I left the camera in the taxi.
No way.
Yeah.
Never get it back?
Yeah, no, I didn't get it back. So I was learning how to do photography on YouTube for like 7 months until I could afford to get the Sony that I have now. So.
Oh my god, that is sickening.
Oh, it was horrible. Like, but I think I'm not really a materialistic person, although you would think I am with being into shoes and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't really let it bother me. It was just like it was meant to happen or whatever. So just save up and get a new one.
Do you have a favourite pair of shoes?
Yeah, Skepta 97s, or probably the 180s that my uncle had, but I don't have them.
Where do you see yourself taking the business in the future? Where do you want it to go?
I'd love to maybe get it in one other city in Ireland, maybe Cork or Belfast. I know there's a lot of people that want it in Belfast, this fella. Yeah, so probably go to Belfast, and then possibly over to the UK, maybe London or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And I know I've said it already that a lot of people your age might have kind of ideas that they don't follow through with or whatever. What advice would you give to someone about just starting a business? Like, don't matter what age they are.
Just do it. I think the one thing you should do is, though, you should do your research on it. I mean, we were in a pretty good position that we were the only people in Ireland doing it. So, like, obviously there was the Facebook groups forever, but we were the only actually people running a sneaker event or whatever. So it's just being confident in that, and confident in yourself, and then also doing a lot of research. You know, if you're trying to make a business like this in London, I'd probably say look into doing something else, because there's already a couple of things established over there, and it'll be really hard to get up there with those boys. But if you're in a city that maybe doesn't have it, go ahead.
Do you think it's key to have an original idea, have something that?
Yeah, I think that goes into anything though. It's like, it's literally just doing your research. Like, if there's, like, let's say you want to make up a burger shop or something like that, like, don't do it where there's like 5 burger shops already. Like, you know, you go to somewhere where there's not, and I think that goes with everything, really.
So Coffee and Kicks are having their next event on April 21st, is it?
Yeah, April 21st.
Would you have anything to say to people to get them to come down to it?
Well, I would just say, I can't really say much now, but I'd say that meeting in London with Puma may be coming into the works, so probably try and get to that.
So be sure to get down to Coffee and Kicks on the 21st of April. Where did you say it was on again?
It's Coffeeangel on Trinity St.
This has been an interview with James Fagan. If you want to see any more interviews like this, people doing interesting things with their lives, do let me know. Leave a like, a comment and subscribe if you want, and be sure to check out Coffee and Kicks on Instagram and James Fagan on Instagram. I will leave all the links down below. Thanks for watching and thanks for being on the video.
No problem.